This TBR is dedicated to my husband, who recently read Ready Player One and is dying to discuss it with me. So I'm like, fine, I will do a YA sci-fi TBR video so that I can go ahead and read Ready Player One in plenty of time for the movie to come out. So, big surprise, the first book on this list is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. From what I can tell, this is about virtual reality and gaming culture in the future, but like in the near future, 20 years from now, not 500 years from now. My husband was ambivalent about this book. He thought it was only really interesting if you got all the insider gamer jokes, which he did, but he wasn't sure how great the story was outside of that nostalgia factor. I did not grow up as a gamer, so I'll be an interesting test case to see if I still like it without having that frame of reference. My Goodreads friend Cher says it is the best dystopian ever, but my Goodreads friend Ginny says there was way too much info dumping in the beginning. I am going to read this book before the movie comes out, which is directed by Spielberg, right? The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. This is one of those really famous YA books that I just haven't read yet or seen the movie. It's about the aliens taking over the world in 5 waves, I believe. And our main character is trying to save her little brother with the help of the, and I quote the Goodreads description, beguiling and mysterious Evan Walker. My Goodreads friend Bronwyn says, what a wild ride, but Jeanne from Happy Indulgence says it was a frustrating experience. It was just so convoluted in her opinion. She didn't get any answers, and it was so confusing she left the book without any sort of impression, by which I take it she means that she's not gonna be able to remember the plot for very long. My friend and fellow booktuber Amanda Eagle gave me a copy of Pathfinder by Orson Scott Card several Christmases ago, so I need to really get around to reading it. I'm a huge fan of Ender's Game, but some of his other works have not been as strong, so I'm a little uncertain about this one. It's about a kid who can see the future and then his father dies, leaving him vulnerable to both people who want to make him their leader and those who want to kill him. Bringing Bronwyn back to the table, she said that this was great, the characters and the plot were fascinating, but my Goodreads friend Di Kitty says the characters and the dialogue were all so very pretentious. The End Games by Martin T. Michael. I met Martin at my very first VidCon, which was like 4 years ago now, and he gave me a signed copy of this book, so I really need to get around to reading it. He has a show with the Green Brothers now, I think, all about like the skills you need for the real world. Anyway, this book is apparently all about zombies. My Goodreads friend Estella really hated the writing style. She found it confusing, but my Goodreads friend Whitney Hitt thought it was a very unique twist on the zombie apocalypse novel. Red Rising by Pierce Brown is about a future where humans live on Mars and live in a color-coded caste system. My Goodreads friend Carrie Ann says this is brilliant for a debut novel, but fellow booktuber Lily Pad found it boring. Tomorrow When the War Began by John Marsden. I've been told a lot that I should read this book. It's about these kids who go camping in the Australian outback and come back and find everyone is just gone. They've all been taken. This book is actually 10 years old now, which is pretty ancient for a YA book actually. We're talking just after Twilight was published. For a book that I've been told repeatedly I should read, none of my Goodreads friends who rated this 5 stars actually explain why they rated it 5 stars, besides just saying, I loved it. Those who did not love it say it felt incomplete. So I guess I'm kind of going in blind on this one. Alright, that is a complete TBR. What are your thoughts on these books? Did you like them, not like them? What should I be tackling first?